is a story that I heard a long time ago, and I remembered it when we were thinking, or I was thinking about this theme of possibility for this month. It's by Dan Perry, turning the fear of transformation into the transformation of fear. Sometimes I feel that my life is a series of trapeze swings. I'm either hanging on to the trapeze bar, swinging along, or for a few minutes in my life, I'm hurling across space in between trapeze bars. Most of the time, I spend my life hanging on for dear life to my trapeze bar of the moment. It carries me along at a certain steady rate of swing, and I have the feeling that I'm in control of my life. I know most of the right questions, and even some of the answers. Sounds like you to me. But every once in a while, as I'm merrily, or maybe not even so merrily, swinging along, I look out ahead of me into the distance, and what do I see? I see another trapeze bar swinging toward me. It's empty, and I know, in that place in me that knows, that this new trapeze bar has my name on it. It is my next step, my growth, my aliveness, coming to get me. In my heart of hearts, I know that for me to grow, I must release my grip on this present well-known bar and move to the new one. Each time it happens to me, I pray, that I won't have to let go of my old bar completely before I grab the new one. But in my knowing place, I know that I must totally release my grasp on my old bar, and for some moment in time, I must hurtle across space before I can grab onto the new one. Each time, I am filled with terror. It doesn't matter that in my previous hurdles across the void of unknowing, I have always made it. I am each time afraid that I will miss, that I will be crushed on unseen rocks in the bottomless chasm between bars. I do it anyway. Perhaps this is the essence of what the mystics call the faith experience. No guarantees, no net, no insurance policy, but you do it anyway, because somehow to keep hanging on to that old bar is no longer on the list of alternatives. So, for an eternity that can last a microsecond or 1,000 lifetimes, I soar across the dark void of the past is gone, the future is not yet here. It's called transition. I have come to believe that this transition is the only place that real change occurs. I mean real change, not the pseudo change that only lasts until the next time my old buttons get punched. I have noticed that in our culture, the transition zone is looked upon as a no thing, a no place between places. Sure, the old trapeze bar was real, and that new one coming towards me, I hope that's real too. But the void in between, is that just a scary, confusing, disorienting nowhere that must be gotten through as fast and as unconsciously as possible? No. What a wasted opportunity that would be. I have a sneaking suspicion that the transition zone is the only real thing, and the bars are illusions we dream up to avoid the void where the real change, the real growth occurs for us. Whether or not my hunch is true, it remains that the transition zones in our lives are incredibly rich places. They should be honored, even savored. Yes, with all the pain and fear and feelings of being out of control that can, but not necessarily, accompany transitions. They are still the most alive, most growth-filled, passionate, expansive moments in our lives. We cannot discover new oceans unless we have the courage to lose sight of the shore. I was glad I found that again because it really works for me. And perhaps some of you are feeling like you are between bars, looking or reaching for the next thing to grab a hold of. The writer suggests that it's rich and fertile ground for growth and transformation. You may have chosen to enter that in-between space, or it may have been the result of circumstances beyond your control. The truth is, as I'm sure most of you have discovered, we have a lot less control than we'd like to have, or that we even imagine we have. Maybe you are holding tightly to something while wondering what might be out there that will come your way once you let go. Or another possibility is that right now you feel fully alive, present to each and every moment and filled with joy. It's true, if that's true for you, I'd say hang on for the ride, whether you're hurtling through space or you've grabbed on. However, if that's not how you're feeling, and there are things blocking you from intriguing new possibilities, you might want to consider what it would be like to let go and let something new come your way. I know if I were on a trapeze, I would want a net below me. Today I'm thinking of community as that net for all of us. I don't have words for how I know when my aliveness is coming to get me. So I can't tell you how I will know or how you will know. Some things are beyond words. It's in that knowing place, right? And some things you can only answer for yourself. Only you will know when your heart sings or your soul dances. Only you will know when your breath comes easily. What I can tell you is that it is your birthright. Letting go takes a lot of courage. And this week, as we prepare to celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., which is actually tomorrow, even though the holiday is next Monday, we are reminded of the courage of Dr. King and of so many others who were willing to let go of safety, whatever safety they had, and risk their lives to bring about a society that treated all people fairly and with the same regard for human dignity, which is everybody's birthright. What we don't talk about, though, is the community out of which a man like Martin Luther King emerges. Cornel West, who wrote The Radical King, claims that without Ella Baker, Stokely Carmichael, Fannie Lou Hamer, there would be no king. He also mentions the important friendship between Harry Belafonte and King, who met when they were very young. When King was preparing for that last day of the march and wanted to rally the troops, he called on his friend Belafonte to gather some artist friends, because Belafonte had a community too. Musicians he called on to join the march. Belafonte called on Joan Baez, Paul Newman, Marlon Brando. His first call was to Tony Bennett, and Bennett didn't want to go. But when Harry told him how some African Americans had been burned, gasoline thrown on them, Bennett said, "I'll go with you." We are often inspired by those in our community, inspired by the memories we have of the people that we learn about in our lives. And in that moment of thinking of memories of the people that inspire us, I'm going to invite our song.
Up and away like the dew in the morning, soaring from earth to my heavenly home. Thus would I leave from this world and its toiling, only remembered for what I have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what I have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what I have done. Shall we be missed when others succeed us, reaping the fields we in springtime have sown? No, for the sower shall pass from his labors, only remembered for what he has done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what he has done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what he has done. Only the truth that in life we have spoken, only the seeds that on earth we have sown, these shall pass onward while we are forgotten, only remembered for what we have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what we have done. Only remembered, only remembered, only remembered for what we have done.
We are all longing to go home, to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned, we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. These are words from Starhawk in Dreaming the Dark. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere, a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free. We are planting the seeds that grow in the people who come after us, the people that may not remember or know us, but we've planted the seeds. We affect the culture. We affect all that's around us. When I was growing up in a Unitarian church before the merger, there was a lot of talk about meaningless ritual. Do some of you remember that? Yes. And how we could not have that. It made sense because a lot of people who came into Unitarian churches were leaving and rejecting the church they grew up in. and they wanted to leave behind rituals that no longer had meaning for them. But guess what? Ritual crept back. And it keeps creeping back because that's what human beings do. We establish and create rituals around significant and profound moments in our lives. At a liberal religious educators conference some years ago, we had a conversation about how things that constrict us or bind us can become obstacles to further growth or opportunity, or they can weigh us down with worries that keep us from experiencing the real blessings in our lives. The presenter, Meg Cox, planned a ritual for us that she thought might help us focus concretely on one thing that we would like to let go of in order to move forward in our life. I would say in order to move forward in a way that we plant seeds and we change culture. Maybe just our family, maybe enhance our opportunities to feel life surging through us. A lot of us found that ritual very moving. And I don't know where the idea came from, but over the years it seems to have taken hold, and a lot of congregations hold a fire ceremony or a fire communion. Communion meaning that we come together to be with one another in January. So this morning, I'm inviting you to participate to the extent that you are comfortable in this ritual of fire communion. And when I say to the extent that you're comfortable, I would also like to remind you that sometimes simply being in the room, in the space, can make a difference to someone else for whom the activity or the ritual or ceremony is profoundly meaningful. Think of weddings and funerals. How much more meaningful is the occasion when friends and family gather together and they're there with you when you're alone. It's not unusual at the beginning of a new year to be looking forward and backward. Maybe you are at a personal threshold. Are you wondering what to carry forward into the new year and what to release? Is there something constricting that binds you to the past, even though you wish for it not to? It might be something that you feel you need, or something you need to let go of. An obstacle can be something inside of you, self-judgment, lack of emotional energy, or something outside of you. For me, it could be too much stuff, or possibly not enough of what you need. So just for a few minutes, let's sit with one another in some silence and allow our thoughts to go to what weighs heavily on us at this time. Just for a minute. I'm sure it won't take you long. Now, what if you could be free of whatever that is, even if just for a little while, long enough to catch your breath, clear your thinking, and maybe get a new perspective? If you can name that thing, and if you have something to write with, I'm going to give you a piece of paper that you can write it on, but you can also just remember what it is and let that piece of paper symbolize that for you. I'll bet you somebody's going to get us some pencils. And so in a few minutes, we're going to commit that thing to the fire, because fire, like water, can purify. And often out of destruction, new creative energy emerges. So this piece of paper that you're going to get, just take one and burn it up here today. Don't take it home with you or ride home with it in your car or put it in your purse or whatever, because this stuff is really flammable. I kept it in a jar in my house, and one day I went and saw the jar, and it had a whole bunch of brown, crispy little pieces of paper inside the jar. So it can spontaneously combust, I guess. I don't know. Did we run out? Did everybody get one? Okay. We had to tear this one. So you each have this little piece of paper, and maybe you've written something on it, or maybe it just symbolically represents what you now seek to cast off or possibly be forgiven for or leave behind. And remember that this is for your eyes only. You do not have to share. And the fire will not only consume this paper, but if you intend it, it may actually consume what this paper symbolizes. This is a real small little piece here I have, so I'm going to touch it to the flame just so you can see how it works. And you see I brought some water out here. Make sure your sleeves aren't near it, okay? The people who sort of created this, I'll say all this before we do it, say that like some other concrete realities, this fire can be used as a vehicle that bears a special capacity to help us focus on what in our lives is radically significant, or to convey an inward spiritual grace. We are aware of the presence of grace when, in spite of the threat of non-being, we have the courage to be. In spite of absurdity, we live as if life had meaning. In spite of our guilt, we feel forgiven. No deities are necessary to impart the gift of grace. It flows from the most mysterious and holy aspect of our inner lives. Okay. So I invite you to come as you're ready to, one at a time, stand back. Commit your cast-offs to the fire. It's scary to let go, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes. I will. Of course, I know that. You're supposed to really no. Thank you.
We need a different pen.
Not gonna work yet. Let's go. All right. It's gone.
Do you feel lighter? Up in flames, all that stuff we want to get rid of. So in your heart of hearts now, grab hold of what it is that you do want to take with you into the new year. And let that flame symbolize for you the warmth and the energy and the excitement of moving forward free of something, even if it's just for today. Because every day we get a chance to begin again. For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference. We forgive ourselves, each other. We begin again in love. For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For the selfishness that sets us apart and alone, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For losing sight of our unity, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that time with me, and thank you, Laura, for being up here with me and for helping lead this service today and for helping us sing in harmony together.
Well, thank you to everyone for being here today, and we do have coffee and refreshments in the conference room today after the service, I believe, and thanks. Have a great day.